Hey guys, in this video we're going over weird money saving tips to try to find some money that you might have forgot about. So we got 10 tips, so we'll go through them. I'll try to get straight to it. So this first bundle of tips, there's a 1-year rule that I decided would probably help a lot of people out. So after going through all of these, we'll discuss what that is. So first we'll start with number 1. I have a cat right here. He purrs so loud you might hear that. But number 1 is forgotten money. So there are certain places that you should look because you might have just completely forgot about it. So I'll list a few of those. Unclaimed funds. This is an actual interesting one. Every single state, you could go to a website, you type in Google like unclaimed funds, type in your state, like so New York or North Carolina or whatever it is. And it usually gives you put in like maybe your last name, your address, and it'll show if you have any unclaimed funds anywhere. So I definitely check that every like year or two just to see if there's any money there. So that's good to know. You could also check maybe like old crypto accounts, old NFTs that you might have bought, like change jars or old change you have laying around, old wallets. Might have some extra cash you completely forgot about. Old gift cards. I know every so often when I'm cleaning my drawers, might have a gift card that actually has money on it there. Old accounts you completely forgot about, like bank accounts, investment accounts. Easy Pass, I actually just did that. Haven't traveled in a while. I had like $22 over there, so I'm going to be getting that back. And when you're cleaning your house, going through old drawers and everything, you might find some stuff just never crossed your mind in years. Number 2 kind of piggybacks off of the cleaning your house part is you should check your attics, your garages, your closets, your basements for inventory. So not necessarily just finding money around, but finding items that you no longer need, no longer want, you've had for over a year or multiple years. You could start selling that stuff. I would suggest Facebook Marketplace. You don't have to deal with shipping, you don't have to deal with fees, you just meet locally and sell your stuff. It also helps clean up space in your house. So, and I wouldn't say like gravitate away from smaller items as well. If something you could list for like $5-10, sometimes those items could sell pretty quick, especially like big furniture. Number 3, I would say, is look at unknown memberships. Now, you could go through the known memberships that you have to see if you still want them, but there's sometimes, especially with Amazon, like what we just went through, my son just signed us up unknowingly for some weird subscription as well as like Amazon Music, and a lot of these might go under your radar because if you look through your credit card statement, it might just be like $5, $6, $10. So usually you might look at like big purchases as like, oh, what was that? These small purchases might go for months and you have no idea. So when we finally found out about my son's subscriptions, ended up totaling over like $55. So luckily we contacted Amazon, got that refunded, and now he got that money back. Amazon is tricky because I noticed when going through our credit card statements, it's like reading computer code. It's amzn.com / some like string of letters and numbers. You have no idea what it is. So I would suggest go to your Amazon account, go to your subscriptions, and it actually shows you what you signed up for and make sure everything that's there you actually want. Number 4 kind of annoys me is you check your bank accounts and credit card statements for any fees. You should look for late fees, overdraft fees, minimum balance fees, anything like that. And you should call them right away to see if you could get them refunded. Now, banks make billions of dollars off of fees. People usually don't, if it's a couple bucks, they just like, oh, I'll just pay it and move on. A lot of the times they just refund it, given you have to be in good standing. You shouldn't have just like a negative balance for months. So the more you're like a good customer with them, the more likely they'll be able to help you out. And you should be pissed about this because you're literally giving them your money. They're then using your money to make money off of you, and then they have the gall to charge a fee on top of the money that they're making money off of you. I could make a whole video on this, but you should be adamant of actually wanting to get your money back that they kind of stole. Number 5, you should also every so often check your insurance policies. You don't usually look at that often, so when you revisit it with your agent or whoever, see if you're able to adjust it at all. If you're able to adjust like certain deductibles or premiums, you might be able to save some extra money there. There's kind of a risk-benefit analysis. You're kind of betting against yourself. But in most situations, you don't kind of use insurance. So sometimes like all that money is just being thrown away. So you definitely shouldn't over-insure and spend all this money when you're not going to use it. Number 6 is cash back on your credit cards or even cash bonuses. So I remember I had an old friend, he was talking about, he was using this credit card, had no idea he was getting cash back for it, and he ended up racking like $200 on it. So double check that. You shouldn't overspend, obviously. You don't want to be paying these ridiculously high interest rates. You want to pay off the debt, but utilize that cash back and not just spend it. When you're getting that extra money, that essentially works as like kind of a discount to what you already bought, or use that money for saving or paying down debt. Actually utilize it, as well as these cash bonuses. Different credit cards you might be able to get like $100, $200, whatever they're offering. If you're going to spend that money anyway, that can help you get a little extra on the side. So going back to the beginning of this video, I mentioned like a 1-year rule. All the steps that we just mentioned, I would lump in this 1-year category of that you should actually revisit each of these steps, probably yearly, because a lot of stuff happens in a year. Maybe like every New Year's or a certain time of year that works for you. You take a step back and reevaluate everything. Go through all these steps to see if you're losing any money anywhere and how to save this money continuously. Number 7 is another type of rule that I learned is a 10-10-10, which is like 10 minutes, 10 months, and then 10 years. And you should kind of have this perspective across everything in your life, but especially when you're buying something. So you're looking at like the short, medium, and long term. When you're about to purchase something, you should ask yourself, how is this going to impact you in 10 minutes? How's it going to impact you in 10 months? How's it going to impact you in 10 years? In 10 minutes, you might be excited, this is cool, a new thing, whatever. In 10 months, you might be like, I might still use it. I might have moved on, not really sure. And then long term of 10 years, you're like, I'll probably move on. This purchase wouldn't even matter. So when you gear your mindset to that longer term mindset, you might not necessarily purchase a lot of items because you're like, oh, it's just going to be wasted money type of thing. So I think it also helps you make decisions in life, maybe like a career option or anything that you do, you look at how it impacts you short term and also long term. Number 8, I'm stating this as like a time frame shift. So a lot of these newer items out there, right? The newest iPhone that just got announced, iPhone 17 or whatever it is at this point, like the newest and best thing. Is it really going to impact you much? Like a new car or a new TV. They want you to focus on new items, so these companies are making money. And a lot of the time the quality isn't even good. Where it seems like a lot of people are starting to shift their focus to older items. Because older items might have better quality. They might last longer. Instead of buying these newer, crappier items. Now, depending on the items you're talking about, vintage items could be worth more money, but at the same time, they're most likely used items. And in a lot of situations, used items are cheaper than new items. So I feel like that shift is very interesting of how people are kind of going back into older ways. Could be like for old recipes, or old remedies, or old like house stuff, or old video games. I think it's a cool shift to see like what used to work back then because things aren't working now. Number 9, I would say get off of social media, probably for multiple reasons. But one thing is that obviously there's continuous advertisement out there, and a lot of people might put you on to certain trends or certain items, and then you're kind of inclined to buy those items. If you're away from social media, you don't have those temptations. You're not always scrolling through TikTok shop. You don't always need that dopamine hit for, again, the newest, best item. Oh, this is a cool little thing to have. When you actually take a step back, it's a waste of time and money. I'm going to leave you off with number 10. I think it's an important mindset, is that you shouldn't save for you. You should save for someone else. And it's this concept I learned recently, is that like you would do more for someone else versus you. And I'll give you an example. Let's say you're sick and you have to take medicine to get over the sickness, like a cold or whatever. And you have to take this medicine for like a week or two, right? And if you're sick yourself, you need to take medicine for you, then you're like, oh, I'm feeling a little better. Do I really need to take it? You're kind of like lax about it. Versus if like maybe a family member is sick, cat is in the way again, or your child is even sick, or your pet. There he is. Usually you would be adamant about making sure that they're taking their medicine so they get better. So like if you're saving for yourself, you're like, sure, I guess I'll save. But if it's for someone else, you have kind of like a stronger inclination that you'll actually do it because you love that person. So I'd say don't do it for you. Do it for your family. And it might actually give you more motivation to do it. From my perspective, I feel like I want to be that foundation or that backbone for my family. And that's what I'm trying to do. Through these videos, give some tips of how we can try to do that for our family and the people that we love. So if you decide that you want to do that as well, I hope you consider subscribing. We'll be doing more videos like this. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you could leave them down below in the comment section. Hope to hear from you soon, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay strong.